Okay, welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. And now the next thing is to double click on total right here and just enter the following lines of code to generate the reference number. Okay, that's my lines of code for the reference. So the reference number is generated randomly. So if I compile, run, let's run it and see. Okay, now just click on total. There, that's the reference number generated. You can see the date, the time, everything. Okay, so that's taken care of. So exit works as well and reset works as well. So exit. So the next thing is to continue with the calculation for every single component here. So to do that, I would be making reference to my array right up here, that's the array there. Okay, so I will now declare 5 of those in my total. So back in my total, I'll declare the following local variable, net tax. Okay, that's just to deal with the tax, and then enter as follows. Assign the following to the array. So the following, okay, all of the data that is inside each of my components, I meant these ones, these very ones, okay, those are what I'm referring to right here. I've now assigned them into my variable that will declare as part of global variable up here. There they are, those are the global variable. Okay, so let's come back down here, and there they are. Alright, so all of this global variable is now assigned into, or is now multiplied with the array here. Those are the array that I have in there. That's my array, and those are the price for each of the material. Then multiply by whatever value is in here, and the content is in the content that are in here are meant to be in meters. So it's now assigned to the multiplied by the price of each of those material. Like here now, that's the price for the labor per hour. So you can always comment that if you want, as labor per hour, and here that's distance travel. Okay, travel cost per mile or per kilometer, depend on whatever you want. And here that is copper pipe per meter, and so on. Right, so those are just the comments, just for understanding. So this is a chrome, and here we have plastic pipe there. Okay, that's taken care of. Now we have an if statement here. This if statement is to do with the discount. So if this very discount checkbox is checked, okay, and what will happen is all of the data inside the array is added into this variable called job details. Job details is then multiplied by the tax and divide by 100 and then store into net tax. The net tax itself is a local variable, and okay, that shouldn't be there, I guess. That's the job details is then assigned into job 1. Okay, so that we can get it in pound sign or whatever you want. You can see that's the string format change right there, and then is then assigned into subtotal. And job 2, which is a string variable, that is where we store the tags. Okay, the net tags is stored in here and then display into this text box. You can see that that's job 2. Okay, if you don't want to get confused, you can always change that to maybe job tags, and you'll see an error here, so just change that to tags as well, and that's that taken care of. Okay, if you just want to make it all clear. And finally right here, I then have my job details, which is the total of the job, okay, which include the material, travel, and hour, work per hour or labor per hour, is then stored in here. Okay, and if there's any, the final one is just if there's any discount that is deducted from the total. Okay, and that's that. Let me just show you guys the codes for the first part of the if statement. That is it right there. Let's take it up again. Okay, that is it. Bring it down so that you can see it. Let's reduce it so that you guys can see it. Alright, job 2, that's tax. Let's change it to tax. Yeah, that's fine now. So hopefully that error is gone there. Yeah, there will be another error down here, I think. So yeah, job 2 as well. Okay, so that's it. So I can just change it back to tax as well. So this is the second part of the if statement. If the checkbox is not checked in this case, this is what happened. Alright, change that to tax. That's what happened. So let's see if I can reduce it so that you guys can see it. And now let's come back here, double click on total. Okay, if I take it from the top, let's take it from the top so that you can see the codes. Those are the lines of codes for the total. And the if statement. And there. Take it down. Yeah. Okay. That's the first part of the if statement. The second part of the if statement, which is the else, and that is it. Those are the lines of codes. Right there, you will see where discount is assigned as 0. That's it, because there's no discount checked. If it's not checked, so it's 0. Okay, and that is all to the addition or to the total. Okay, so if I run this program now, let me just compile and run. There, enter the amount of material you want in there and the hour work per, or the labor, okay, per hour, and how many miles traveled. if I click on total, that is what we get. Supposing this guy got a discount there, you can see that as 600 here, there's 66 there. Let's uncheck it to confirm. You see 666. Okay guys, see that's working as expected. Just in case if you're wondering what this is all about, it's just a design because I just couldn't figure out what to put in there, so I just leave it blank. And that is that. So the next thing we need to do now is just to put together this calculator, and this one, those ones are very easy. I have the codes on YouTube already, so I'm just going to put that together. Just copy the code and put in there, and this one as well. So exit. So let's double click on button 7. In button 7, those are the lines of codes for button 7 right there. Can you see that? Okay, exactly the same thing was repeated for the next button. Just the same line of code. Look at that. Well, if you have any need for this code, you can always send me an email. I'll just forward it to you. Okay, I have a full tutorial on how to develop a calculator online anyway. Now let me show you guys the operators. Double click on the operator. Those are the lines of code for the operator. All you just need to do is copy this, double click on subtract, and just change this sign to subtract, followed by addition, the same thing, multiplication. Now let's look at equals. That is the equals. Those are the lines of code for equals. And those are my YouTube channel where you guys will gain access to the full calculator tutorial. There they are. Okay, and take it down. Local variable declare for the answer. So that's it right there. Those are the lines of codes. That's to store the addition part of it. Else, if it's subtraction, first number is deducted from second number, and whatever the result is entered into this answer. Answer is a string, if you guys have a look, because you can only store a string into the display, and that is it here. Answer is assigned to the display. The same thing for the multiplication and division. Okay, then we have the so that is all for the calculator. I think I still have one or two things. Okay, double click on declare. That's the clear button. That's how you clear it. Now backspace. These are the lines of code for the backspace. The lines of code for the backspace right there. Okay, plus minus, the lines of code for that. And that is all for the calculator. Okay, with this converter, I've not finished that. I'm just going to work on it, so I'll just call that the end of the second part of this tutorial, and I'll get back to you guys shortly.